Good morning, everybody. Hope we are good today. Wednesday, September 6th, ready to get going. So let's take a look at the S&P 500 here. We haven't done too much overnight. Had this little move down. And then we are kind of chopping. Good morning, Matthew. Well, that's pretty much what we got on the ES. Move down, consolidation, and it looks like we starting to develop a move up right now. On the Nasdaq, had a little bit of a larger move down. Kind of looks like an overshoot, really. Or we could see that as the second leg of this little guy here. Good morning, Charles. All right, so anyway, had that big move down. And this is kind of hard to fit in as far as a trend up, but we're going to use that. Like we've already had a second entry. This could be a higher low right here. Only has 63 ticks, but that would have turned really green. That would have been a decent entry there. So yeah, you can see right here from the top we had this pullback in the first entry, pullback, second entry. So this bar right here, well actually this could still be, didn't tick lower, but that would be our higher low confirming the second entry long. Look at this move up and a break, so we're expecting a new high. It's a decent context to get a long entry, but so far isn't setting up quite right. We need a tick below and then a nice bullish finish here. Make sure as you're coming in, guys, you're saying what's up, saying good morning, liking the stream if you're a regular. That'll keep this party going. Back on the ES, pretty much nothing has moved since we switched over. Could be another one of those days. So in order to really get a trade on here, we're going to need to see a move out of this consolidation area. This is pretty messy in here. Good kind of structure to get chopped around in. So we'll let prices get out of there, establish some sort of trend would be the best. I think our best opportunity right now is on the Nasdaq. Again, this bar isn't quite cooperating yet. If it ticks below and finishes bullish, I'm going to get in on that. Hey, good morning, Grandpa Roger. What's up, Shia? Good morning. Amish, good to see you. Good morning. Hopefully this little up move can go somewhere. Maybe we can get two legs and kind of get out of this consolidation area. Hey Toad, good morning. Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about price action is it repeats itself. So you're starting to recognize a lot of the patterns and like, oh, this looks like yesterday, or this looks like that's great. That's really good news. You're starting to remember patterns, and that's definitely going to help you with your trades. So yeah, I would say you're right, man. Similar to a lot of different days. Morning, Pepe. Just for fun, let's pop back over to yesterday around this time. Maybe there's a specific area you're thinking of. Move down and a consolidation. I can find the area you're looking at exactly. Maybe right here. Move down and then a kind of consolidation. Anyway, price action repeats itself for sure. So there's been many times where prices will do exactly this. Keep studying, and I'm sure there's some solid medium probability trades that we could drum up. I think I have my EMA settings wrong here. Let me change this. That's better. Chayek is calling the upward move to 45.05. All right. Well, let's see it. That'd be a new high on the day. And I would not argue if we get a move up there. Are you trading at Chayek? Are you going to enter a position based on that? Over on the Nas, that one trade we were eyeing never quite set up. It's a great looking bar, except that it never ticked down. We needed to see that, draw in some more bears, create that higher low, and then finish bullish. But context wise, this is where we would be looking to go long. Again, move up, second entry long, and then higher low confirmation, expecting a new high. All right, Chayek's in, one contract long. Let's all buy and help him get it up there. Hey, Matt. Good morning. All right, we got the open in 5 minutes. That is definitely going to give us some information as far as where we are expecting the market to go right now. Just chopping around, no clear direction. So would not be surprised if we get 2 measured legs here. This move up and then another move up of the same distance to get us up around that area. We shall see. About 3 minutes to open, and that can definitely make prices do all sorts of fun things, so we'll see. We also do have some news at 10 a.m. We have PMI coming in. The market might just kind of chop around until the news release. Over on the Nasdaq, we are starting to see a failed second entry short here. From this low, we got a pullback, first entry, pullback. If we get a second entry low or short right there that then reverses, that'd be a pretty decent setup. We're still expecting a new high of this uptrend. Unfortunately, probably gonna happen right at market open. Toad, would I consider a second entry long if it forms right at open? Not here. Not here. In general, yeah. In general, if it's a great setup, I'll take it at the open, but not gonna test my luck in this kind of congestion, even if a second entry long happened here. We're in the middle of a range. It's best to hold off on trades there. And there is the market open. A trade on the Nasdaq. Actually, that bar didn't close very well. And definitely whippy, so you don't want to get involved in the open, especially on the Nasdaq. I'd probably take I'd take a really good looking trade on the ES at open. I don't know that I would on the Nasdaq because it can be pretty volatile when the market opens. And move down. Why you gotta stay away from the open. I would bet you this is going to be the start of a new downtrend here. We're going to get our channel ready. We're bouncing right off of that previous low here so far, right at this area. And the Nasdaq is moving up. It's getting that, or it's reaching for that high that we were expecting. So price action looking like it might work out here. Had this channel working up, break, we expect a new high, or at least an attempt at a new high. I've had one attempt and two attempts. If the market doesn't make it there, then I can definitely see us dropping. Back on the ES, it looks like we have a break and new low of our little channel. You can see move down, break, new low. So likely to get a bounce in here somewhere, unless we have a wider channel developing. We're right at this overnight low, testing that area. And just like that, here is the start of what looks like to be the bounce we were expecting. We have our first entry to the short side. Might get a bounce up and a failed second entry short. We'll see. Definitely a bearish bias though, and you could even potentially start to look for a wider downtrend, although it feels too wide. Price action has been a little bit too range-like, so I would avoid that for now. Hey, Thomas. I'm gonna hop over to the 10K chart. To see if anything looks better. I mean, you can definitely see a wider channel here more readily. Probably even starts from that swing high there. See if we can identify that here on this chart. Doesn't really match up that well on this chart. So again, just noting for right now, we have a range-like structure. Be best to stick to the short and tight channels until it becomes really obvious that something wider is developed. Still kind of drifting lower here, even though we have a break and new low of the channel. So we're just patiently waiting for there to be some sort of bounce here and a bullish correction. Flipping over to the Nasdaq. We kind of expect the same. We have this move down. Looks like it is a pretty much a measured move over here. So also expecting a bounce on the Nasdaq. Starting to get it finally. Yeah, we'll see if we can get that on the ES. So far, no dice. Could this be our bounce? So far, looks like it. North Country has about a 4-minute lag on this stream. Whoa. Wish I could send you the chart 4 minutes early, but for the moment, the difference is just confusing me. Does anyone else have that much of a lag? 4 minutes is quite a bit. I am. Hope that gets sorted for you, North Country. No, I think Thomas, that he's saying I'm behind by 4 minutes. Hey Thomas, good question. My toolbar is gone for the moment because I had to, last week I was having problems with NinjaTrader and it shut down. So I reinstalled NinjaTrader and basically built it back up again from scratch. So there's some things I haven't installed yet, the toolbar being one of them, just to try to make sure, try to eliminate options of what seems to be causing problems on Ninja. So I only have the essentials on right now, and yeah, if we're free and clear, like if we can get through this week with no crashes or anything, then probably next week I'll start to introduce like the toolbar, and hopefully that wouldn't be the problem. But yeah, you never know, so got to do the little process of elimination. Nice move up here on the S&P. Yeah, this is a really nice move up, so hopefully we can break out above this previous range high and yeah, then get a nice looking pullback to go along. It's pulling back a little bit early. I'd really like to see us get above all of this resistance. Don't want to mess around with that, but we were pulling back before then, so I don't know that I could go long here. We'll see how it sets up. Same kind of deal on the Nasdaq. Nice looking move up, and then anticipating a second entry long, but we are right at this previous swing high. A lot of this resistance, so I'm not sure if I want to go long right into all that. But it might just drop off from here anyway. It looks like that's what it's doing on the S&P. Oh, nice. Look at that EMA held so far. That EMA holds, we might be in business here. but EMA not holding. Moving down, we just have a straight up V-shaped reversal here, so that's fun. This bar is kind of the last chance for the EMA to show signs of support. Toad is predicting a rocket through support like yesterday or the day before. I don't know, one of those days. Here's the first entry to the long side. Maybe we can get a failed second entry long. Or a second entry short. Something along those lines. This is all still the first entry. We have not ticked below any bar yet. Now a really strong push above the EMA is not helpful for our cause. Yeah, forget that short. This is starting to get a little bit ugly price action wise. We're just getting some back and forth moves above and below the EMA. Price is rejected pretty perfectly here at these highs. Would not be surprised to see us work back down to these lows, and maybe we have kind of a larger range right in there. When you have prices moving above and below the EMA, that is pretty much you expect. So this is definitely a range-like structure, no matter how you draw it. Meanwhile, on the Nasdaq, same. Really, we can't get above this area. Prices turn down there before, turn down here, turn down there, turn down there. Expecting it likely to turn down here again. Maybe it'll poke up above a little bit, but range-like structure on the Nasdaq as well. At least both indices are looking the same, doing the same kind of thing. So this is definitely the kind of structure to be patient in. Wait for something to develop that's really clear and obvious. Right now, I wouldn't say that anything is obvious as far as where is the market gonna go. It is obvious that we're in a range though. There you go, another move below the EMA as if it doesn't even exist. Hallmark of a range. Decent looking bullish bar. Technically a failed second entry short. So if you are long bias, that's your setup right there. One tick above that bullish bar. Doesn't even look like it's going to trigger though. So there's going to be some folks trapped there. Like we're gonna get a big move down. We got about 3 minutes for that news release as well. I think this could get a little funky. Price is just hanging around that area waiting for the news. So if you are in a position, I would consider getting flat, as this could, unless you have a really wide stop, this could get a little chaotic, a little hectic. Good morning, Gary. I think the second entry sideways is the play today. Forget all that other stuff. That's where the real money's at. All right, there's the news release and a move down. And that is why you stay out of these things, folks. Boom. Always have your economic calendar up. Larger channel starting to look a little bit more legit right now, isn't it? Still feels a little too wide, but keeping that in the back of my mind. Imagine if you were a trader that had no idea about news releases. Like, you'd be so shocked sometimes. FOMC comes out, or PMI comes out. Like, what on earth? Why is there a massive red candle out of the middle of nowhere? I'm sure there's probably a lot of people like that. No idea. Alright, I think we've moved lower than even that channel we had drawn. Oh no, we're right at the bottom of it still. The Nasdaq hard to identify a larger channel. But you definitely have this move going down like so. So we could get a second entry short if this pulls back anytime soon. Back on the ES, I do like this channel. Matt, you were like that the first year or so, huh? Trading without any idea of economic events. Sketchy. Matthew asks, at what point is it normally safe to trade after news? Like 30 minutes or less? I don't know. I don't think there's an exact time frame after the news. You just want to watch prices once it seems like they're acting normal. But even setups will work in the news. Often things just move a lot faster, so price action still works. If something's set up right now, I'd be totally fine taking it. Especially with something like this where it's one release, right? It's different if it's a Fed speaker or the FOMC presser. That, you know, prices can kind of spike when anytime someone says something, but this was numbers were released, it's already reacted. There's not any like new information that's going to make the market jump. The information's already out there, the market's just digesting it now. Ooh, yeah, that's rough, Matt. I think we've all been there where we're just copying trades, hoping that that'll lead us somewhere. Really rough. Gary has a possible spike in channel. Yeah, I could see that, Gary. This move down, obviously the spike. And some sort of secondary channel here. Could definitely see that. Right now it looks like prices are still respecting our wider channel, so we're going to keep that on there. Nasdaq as well, still staying within that channel down we had drawn. Still like a second entry short if we can get a good looking setup here. And we do have a nice little correction here. Maybe we can get back to the EMA and get a second entry short. On the ES, we are bouncing off the bottom of the channel, so could get a larger correction here. So far the EMA is providing a little resistance here. We're very low at the bottom of this channel, but a second entry short is pretty tempting. We already have our first entry. If we get a nice looking second entry, I think I will need to take it. Oh, we might move too low here anyway. Wow, price is still looking a little bit volatile. We got some buying, folks. Wow, look at that candle. Man, I don't know about that one. Looking a little dicey down here, folks. I'd be cautious. See how this bar closes. Shoot, didn't have my order ready. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty congested there. Yeah, it's looking pretty volatile. Not a bad idea to skip. But if you took that, you know, definitely wouldn't blame you. Second entry short. Nice signal bar for sure. It's a little stacked, a little volatile. These bars are forming very quickly and pretty big. And it looks like it's gonna work anyway, so you decided to risk it, paid off. Yeah, I definitely, even though it worked out, I definitely don't feel bad about skipping it. That could have easily, you know, with how volatile those bars were, how stacked it was, that could have easily stopped out like instantly. I always think about that, and you know, this would be a good mental exercise for y'all as well. I always think about if you're going to enter the trade, how are you going to feel with a win and with a loss. Like, if you get a loss, is it going to be like, oh man, I knew it, I shouldn't have taken that one? If you're thinking that, it is best to skip it, even if it wins. You definitely want it to be like, if you lose, you're like, well, you know, that was as best as I could do, or it still looked pretty good, I'd take it again. That's how you want to feel on a loss, is like, well, okay, I mean, I don't think I see anything wrong with that. But if you can think in advance of like, what am I going to think when I lose? How am I going to feel when I lose? And the answer is like, dang, I knew I shouldn't have taken that. Just don't take it in the first place. Good mental exercise to do when a trade is setting up. Envision, what are you going to think if that thing loses? How are you going to feel? And maybe you always feel bad after a loss, but that's another issue that you got to work on. You do need to be able to take losses for sure, but you want those losses to be on setups that are like, man, that still looks really good. I'm not sure why it failed. Those are the kind of losses you want to take. Thomas says, would have got my 8 ticks barely. I have always gone for 6 ticks. Yeah, it would have worked. It would have worked. Just don't lose. That's a good point, Gary. You know what? I never thought of that. Dang. That's really rocking my world. I should just not lose anymore. The Nasdaq does have a break and new low of that channel. Big move down. Here's our break, new low formed, and now we're bouncing. Classic price action working. On the ES, we are still hanging out around at the bottom of that channel. Maybe get measured move of this guy right here. Right about at it. But since we are coming off the bottom of the channel, would expect us to come up and test the top here pretty soon. When people don't, Matt says, when people don't lose, they win a lot more. I've seen it. Whoa, that's deep, man. So we're at the measured move of this bullish correction. So we'll see if we can turn down here or if we're just en route to the top of the channel. Again, coming off the bottom of the larger channel, we're just going to wait for this bullish correction to play out and a move back below the EMA. There's really no trade here. With how bearish it's been, you definitely don't want to look for a long. Let it do what it's going to do. Once we get push below the EMA, we can reconsider taking a short. And hopefully no one here got wrecked on all that chaos the last 20 minutes. Always got to be aware of economic news and yeah, areas where we could possibly downturn. So hope everyone's doing good. If not, there is 80% off Apex sale, so you can always get in on an eval pretty cheap. And this is the last week for that, so yeah, I'm trying to think what other holidays we have where they might do a sale. It might be a while after this one. Probably next month. Alright, we have our push below the EMA here. Maybe a failed second entry long, if everything forms right. The EMA has to continue to reject prices. There's the first entry long that has failed. Let's see if we can come back up to the EMA for that second. Doesn't look like we're gonna get that failed second entry long. We're just moving down here. Looks like we might just move down to the bottom of the range here with no setup. Matthew has a range here. Oh, nice. Gary took that lower high. Yeah, with how bearish it's been, that's not a bad trade right there. This move up has a break a new high. It's played out. Big push below the EMA, lower high. I think that's a pretty solid trade. I don't know that I see the range here, Matthew. I mean, definitely this area was range-like, but after that, we're now moving below. So I'm just seeing a big downtrend personally. Looks like maybe now we have a possible overshoot of our channel. We'll see if it reacts like an overshoot with a big correction. Meanwhile, the Nasdaq is right on the previous low. It's just kind of testing that. A little bit stronger than the ES right now. Hasn't moved as far down. We have an overshoot on the ES, expecting a possible bullish correction, and then the Nasdaq is right on the low, which could offer support as well. So yeah, both indices have the potential of bouncing here. Nasdaq moved below the low. We get a breakdown here. ES still hanging out right around that overshoot. We do have a little bit of a correction, possibly from that overshoot, and the Nasdaq as well bounced up. We'll see if we continue lower and are not able to get above the EMA here, we're gonna have to adjust our channel. Because again, this needs to act like an overshoot if that is indeed what it is. So far, it looks like we're headed farther down. Zooming out to see if there's any other channels we could look at. Okay, here we go. Move above the EMA. So this overshoot is looking pretty decent here. I think we're gonna keep our channel. On the Nasdaq, we might be settling into a range here. Something along those lines. It's very common after a big move down for the market to settle into some sort of range. And another move below the EMA. This also might be a failed second entry short if you're feeling crazy. I would not recommend taking a long against this market, but this ends in a really bullish bar above the EMA. Might be tempting for some. Gary's saying potential lower high, confirming second entry short. Yeah, we can. That would be true by the count. It's a little bit stacked in here for me. Pretty congested. You got kind of a range. That bar didn't end well anyway. Definitely would have been tempting if that would have turned and ended bearish. Jinx, Matthew. All right, here's that lower high, Gary. If you're wanting to get in on it, that seems pretty good. Two stacked for me. I'm not gonna take, but you can see how someone might.
I know it sounds silly, dear, but do it for me, please.
Little congestion here. We gotta wait till prices get out of that before we take an entry. And still not getting that overshoot, reaction that we were expecting. So might adjust this channel. Could be, maybe it's coming off of like the news high. Something along those lines. Like it fits a little bit better. Maybe. Let's see. Maybe we should extend it out like that. Yeah, if you just let this break just a little bit, that lines up pretty well. Gary's looking for that breakout pullback, lower high. Yeah, I think I would take that too, Gary. And what that would mean is we need to see, we would need to see breakout here, pull back and get a lower high and take that short. We're waiting for that to potentially set up. We do have a little bit of a uptrend on the Nasdaq. I could possibly get a new high right here as we have a break. Potentially looking for a new high. Back on the ES again, waiting for a breakout pullback. There's our breakout. See if we can get a nice lower high bar. Pretty congested, I would agree, Toad. Okay, so there's our breakout. We can get a nice lower high. Might consider taking that short. Especially if this can end up right on the EMA, that'd be perfect. But we may just drop off into the abyss without a setup here. Here we go. Come on. Let's see that pullback. Like, this will actually be a second entry long on the Nasdaq. That bar finishes bullish. Back on the ES, can this turn into a lower high? So far looking pretty good. Still have 1,000 ticks left though. That's quite a bit, and it looks like it might, yeah, it's moving way too low at this point. Bummer. That would have closed right around here. I would have given that a shot. But that's a pretty big bar, closing right on the low. So gotta skip that one personally. Now it's just stacked again. Oh, no real setup here. Nasdaq looks like it wants to go up. Have this uptrend break. The EMA is holding. Definitely no trade as it's really stacked right there, but I could for sure see this breaking upwards here, getting a new high. It's got so stacked. You're right, Toad. Clear bearish bias on the day, but super choppy now. Nice little rhyme for us there, Toad. Appreciate that. Instead of stacking cash, me stacking Z's, a little more milk and honey, please. I don't know what that's from, but that definitely sums up the last hour or so of trading. Looking so good after that news release, and now we're just hopping around. This could be a slow bleed out kind of day. Clearly bearish. Definitely don't want to try any longs today. However, this is not really a good short setup right now. What I would like to see really is a push above the EMA, you know, some sort of bullish correction that plays out, and then we get a clear push below the EMA. Yeah, a nice correction would be helpful. I don't think there's a lot of longs in here right now, so there's probably a good amount of buy stops right in here. Clear some of those out before we head lower. Testing the bottom of the channel again. We definitely can't widen the channel any at this point, so if it breaks below again, that's when I might need to actually like find a new starting point for the channel. Might be a steeper one going on. Back on the Nasdaq, respecting this range pretty well. A little bit bearish, and yeah, didn't ever come up to the high there. We're starting to get lower lows, so bearish bias for sure, but especially if we can come up here and test the high. This range is looking pretty good. Yes, perfect bounce off the bottom of the channel. This may be our larger bullish correction, which again would be helpful. Clear out some of those buy stops. Get some more longs involved, then maybe we can turn back down and punish all those long traders. Sounds a little harsh, but that's what we need. There's got to be two sides to every position, right? Some big bars stacked here on the Nasdaq. The ES, we ran into trouble here on the EMA. And if a second entry short forms, you're just gonna have to take it. So on that first entry, let's see if we can get back to the EMA. Doesn't look like it. Eyeing for prices to get back up to that EMA and give us a nice bearish signal bar, which would be a second entry short. Forms too low, we're not going to be able to take it. Oh, come on, baby. Let's move a little bit higher here. Nasdaq is starting to drop. That's not going to help us. Come on, baby. Move on up. Not looking hopeful. And the more bars print right here, the more congested it's going to be and the less probable our trade will become. So we really need prices to make it up to the EMA soon. Don't want to see a lot of shenanigans down here. That is what we currently got, some shenanigans. Nasdaq just made a new low. It looks like the ES is about to make a new low as well, so can forget about that setup. All right, well, that was kind of the last potential trade for stream hours. But yeah, definite bearish bias for today. If you need a reminder, just zoom out. For sure bearish, so stick to the shorts. Wait for bullish corrections to play out. Look for those second entries at the EMA. And there might be some nice ones today. There could be some really good ones with some great runners. So yeah, I'll be calling that out on Twitter today. Make sure you're following me there. I think that's going to do it for this morning. Hope everyone has a wonderful trading day. Stay safe out there. Don't FOMO. Wait for the high probability setups. Appreciate y'all, and I will see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Take care, everyone.